Hey.
Hello.
Oh
How are
wait,
you
hang on.
going?
Discord's mixed up. Hang on, I gotta fix sound settings.
All good. Let me know. Du- 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 du.
Um, no, output, I want headphones. Okay, talk?
Okay. Hello. Is this alright?
Yep, all good now.
Wait.
Thanks.
How you going?
Good, how are you?
Good. I always get excited for actually coaching a peach. I always have a lot of fun with it.
Oh, that's
Um,
good.
du- du- just going over your answers quickly. I guess we'll just work through the questions one by one. It's like, I guess what are you looking to do with melee? Like long term, short term? Like what do you want? What are your goals?
Yep, yep. Uh, Short term, I wanna be competent and win, begin a beatdown.
I think that's a good goal.
Um, because like there are times where I'm playing and I'm like, I know I could win this, but I don't pull it through.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I look over it, it's mostly execution. I'm just not doing things that I want to do. I just
Okay.
can't control my character.
Yep.
And I'm like, I know if I put the time in, I can easily get this, fairly soon.
Yep.
But I just don't do that.
Sure. Sure. Okay.
Uh, I want to beat my mate,
Yep.
Calico.
That's a great one. I love that one. That's a good one.
I because when we were growing up, like he's a high school mate.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I was just better than him, just
Yep.
all the way through.
Yep.
And then he started to practice and start getting good, and then he overtook me. And it's been like 7 years since then, and I'm like, you know what? I just really just want to beat him because he's really good at the game. Like he's
Yep.
like a high mid tier player,
Yep.
but like I can see he does patterns and stuff, and I'm like, I know I could beat him, but I just can't.
Interesting. Yep. Yep.
And
Yep.
I'm like, yeah.
It's very
And
funny.
then long term, I really do want to be one of the best Peaches in Australia, just because I love Peach because she's
Mm-hmm.
so technical,
Yep.
and I'm just like, there's so much you can do with her that I just don't think people do right.
Yep. I
That
agree.
makes sense?
Yeah, that's why I got into her. But it's I want to be one of the best beach places in Australia. I'm gonna tell you to aim a little bit higher because we got because one of the best peaches, the second best peach currently active in Australia is probably Catherine. um,
Yeah,
and yeah, I reckon I don't know. Like I think it's something. It's like it's not even a long shot at that point.
yeah.
It's like I reckon you can do it. I have no doubt. It's honestly, and Peach is this weird character where it's I don't know. I think Peach is a pretty good character for getting pretty good in Australia. It's like she only starts to become like a struggle once you start hitting like the tippy top 10, like top 10 ish, where like it starts to be a real like you start having to think about it a lot more. But I think you can get away with a lot of Peach fundamentals. Gets you pretty far in Australia, to be honest.
Okay, yeah, I
But yeah, I
agree.
reckon you can do it. Why not? Yeah, strengths and weaknesses. Like what do you think you do well? What do you think you do poorly?
Uh, so strength, I think I always go in with a good game plan and I kind of stick to it. I never give up. I'm always like,
Mm-hmm.
I know what I need to do, and I'm always looking for a whiff punish or a way that I can get in,
Sure.
and then that's when I go in. Um, my weakness is I'm just constantly screwing up tech. I'm constantly just making mistakes, dying off the edge.
Interesting.
Um, and I just can't control the way I want to control. Like I was doing wave dash just practice over
Mm-hmm.
and over and over, and I'm only consistent 80% of the time. So like 1 in 5 times I go for a wave dash, I'm just gonna fail it,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, that's not good. And it's
It's
just
Wave Dash
yeah,
is an odd one where it's like at any point you're probably like getting because it's I don't know, it depends. There's a few things with Wave Dash. There's a few ways to do it. But if you're doing like the single press Wave Dash and you're aiming for like frame perfect, it's like you're gonna fail like 1 in 10 to 1 in 20 even if you've been practicing it for years.
okay,
It's
cool.
you're always like 80%'s a bit low, but like the thing with the game like Melee is if you're going for any tech frame perfect, you're gonna fail it at some point. But yeah, actually, speaking of Way Dash, I think that we're probably gonna go through that. There is a pretty good rule for tech like that,
Okay.
to help you get it more consistently. But yeah, keep going.
Um, so weaknesses.
Hmm.
So just bad micro stuff in general. And honestly, like the other thing is like I just constantly I don't have a game plan. Like I'll do something of like I'll grab someone, throw them up, and I know they're gonna roll, but I'm like oh, if I know they're gonna roll in, I'll be like, oh, let me just dash dance and wait for them to get up, and then they'll get up, and then they'll action and hit me, and I'm like, why didn't I react? Like I knew they were going there, but I didn't capitalize on it. I just didn't
Okay.
do anything.
Yep. Yep. Um. See, it's always fun to ask these questions. I always like asking these questions because we get to see the gameplay after, and we get to see
Yeah.
how it's happening. So what? Because like I don't know. I think this sort of stuff's really important to go through, mainly because like, uh, your interpretation of what's going wrong isn't always what's going wrong in game. Because what you focus on is the thing, like what you focus on the things you like or the things like you want to look for.
Yeah, and it's completely
And
separate in game.
it's not always. So I'm interesting. I have a few hypotheses, but
Mm.
we'll see where it goes. I think like this is a good answer though. I appreciate the detail as well. And then we'll go probably the most important one. How much do you play and what do you play?
So yeah, I mostly just play unranked. I
Hmm.
just jump on the queues, play, maybe a couple of hours, just like, oh, yeah, just have fun. It's only recently where I'm like, no, I want to get good, and I'm gonna like, I've been solo practicing,
Hmm.
and just yeah, been doing directs with quite a good few mid-level players.
Yep.
Most of the time, I get my ass kicked, but it's actually I'm learning a lot, and it's having fun, and that's really good. And yeah.
And then last, what do you want to get out of the session? What are your big questions? What are you looking to get?
Um, I just want to know, like, mainly how to create a flow chart because I feel like
Uh-huh.
I don't have one, and I really don't understand the process of doing it. Like, hey, can Peach reaction tech chase? And like, if she, so, like,
Hmm.
can she do it well and all this stuff? Like, how do you actually start and create your own flow chart, or do you always base it off something else? Like, I don't understand the process.
That's a really good question, and we'll definitely go into that. And how to practice punish, how to look for. That's a really good question. I actually appreciate that. The subfloat stuff at the bottom.
Mm,
Um, I guess we can go through the subfloat stuff first. So basically, how it works is, so do you know how subfloat works?
yep,
To start with, like you hit the button on the
yep,
frame, you leave the ground, you go lower.
yep.
And the reason so ASDI down. Do you know how ASDI down at all works and like crouch canceling works?
I understand crouch cancel and ASDI. You have to be in the air and then you hold C stick down, and you it's kind of
So
crouch cancel in a way,
so
but you have to be in the
what's
air,
crouch
right?
cancel? Is
Crouch cancel is it takes off like a third of the
yep.
um, hit frame lags and stuff, so you can just start fighting a lot faster.
Yep, that's that's
This
um
criteria is often referred to as
the misinterpretation of what crouch canceling actually is.
Uh,
So
okay.
you're right. Crouch canceling when you're in a true crouch, it takes off 33% of the knockback. However, that's not what causes you to act instantly. What does that is there's a little mechanic called ACI, which is when you're holding a direction, either with the analog stick or the C stick takes priority. So if you're holding up with an analog stick and you're holding down with the C stick, the game treats it as holding down.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
So, what ASDI is if you're grounded and you get hit with a move that sends you up, you leave the ground like on the first frame of hit lag, right?
Yep.
And what ASDI does, and like SDI by extension, is it's a little teleport. So whatever you know SDI. So every
Yep.
time you do an SDI input, the game teleports you a certain distance in that direction.
Yep.
That's what it is. And then ASDI is just a half SDI input based on where you're holding at the end of hit lag. So it's a little
Okay.
so like when you get hit, there's just a little teleport at the end of hit lag. So like when you get hit, there's a little teleport, right?
Yep.
And then so basically what that means is when you get hit with a move that sends you up, you're a tiny bit off the ground. And then due to the little teleport, if the move isn't strong enough to send you off the ground enough in that first frame, the little teleport teleports you back to the ground.
Uh,
Does that make
okay.
sense? So you go
Yeah, yeah,
up,
yeah.
you go down, and because you left the ground and because you landed, you get 4 frames of lag.
Okay.
So
Okay, that makes a
it,
lot more sense.
yeah, yeah. So that's what's happening. Is like if the move isn't strong enough to send you off the ground enough in that first frame, it will you like holding down will teleport you back down to the ground, and then you'll land.
Okay. Yeah,
So
that makes sense.
that's really important to understand as a Peach main, and like by extension, how the subfloat ASDI down works is the subfloat just this what the subfloat does compared to a normal float is it pulls you close enough to the ground to where ASDI down is able to teleport you to the ground. Whereas normal float, you're like actually floating enough off the ground to where there's no way the half SDI input's going to ever teleport you to the ground.
Hmm.
So that's the
Okay, yeah, that
difference.
makes sense. Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Um, that's all right. We'll hop into the. Do we actually? I want to look at some of these questions. I might clarify some of this stuff first, or I want to. Let me just give me a minute to see how I'm going to approach this because these are some good questions, and I'm just like thinking of if I want to do it through watching replays or if I want to do it
Yeah,
through
take
showing
your
you some
time.
stuff. Um, labbing and practicing. Hmm. I think what we might do, we might watch the replays and then we might pick up some stuff where you have a problem and then we might go in and like see how I would approach it from a solo practice perspective.
Okay,
So
yeah,
we
that
can
sounds good.
just let's have a look at your replays and I'll give you I think this is in order. Let's find out. What's game one? Game one Battlefield? Do you win?
I do.
Okay, cool. Just make sure we
Against the
have game
Falco.
one. So what
Yep.
went wrong versus Kiwi before we start and as I get Discord streaming up?
Uh, so first you went Falco, and I'm very good against the Falco, mainly because I keep versing
Mm-hmm.
Caliber, and so anyone who isn't at his level, I'm easy to just like pick apart and just kind of beat.
Yep.
But
And
then he,
then yeah, and then the math. So this was yeah, I saw the replay. This was pretty clean. 5.5.
um,
That's pretty good.
and with Marth, I always struggle against Marth just because it feels like I always have to wait for Marth to make a mistake to go in,
Uh-huh.
and then I can't even combo in the air. He'll just keep swiping, just
All
constant
right.
swipe. It's really hard to get in.
So since you seem pretty comfortable versus Falco, I might skim through this and we were asking about reaction tech chase and asking about like different punish routes. So I might
Yep.
skim through the first one and we'll just talk about where I go in specific punishes and how I would practice it rather than
Okay.
looking at like the gameplay, like the big problems. Just a small thing here, like well, this is fine. I think you just need to stay in float here, and you get the follow up. So
Okay.
because you dropped and then you up aired, you like up air.
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna do like generally if you're like above here, you want to do the move while you're in float and then drop down after. That's just a small thing. Just like a small note, here as well. Won't go into much, but you just. I guess you were reading them going in, so
Yeah.
yeah, it's alright. It's like as you get better, you have to learn to play closer to the opponent and not just like throw move. Like this is how Peach loses. The better you get is because the opponents will just like stay at the edge of this range and you won't be able to do anything. But for now, it's
Yeah, I
alright.
do get punished pretty hard for that.
We'll probably see that a lot in the math games. Oh, here's another one. You don't play cancel. So you do this double jump back, which is okay like sometimes, but most times you would just want to float and you would drop down. It's just like the thing with at least until higher percents, the thing with like the double jump land stuff is you won't get a follow up even if it hits. Like even if it hit him and it sent him this way because you were in like L cancel lag, you probably wouldn't have got a proper follow up at 32%. Whereas if you hit him with like a fast forward float cancel aerial, you'd probably turn around and grab in most spots, and it would have been pretty good. But like the extra 4 or 5 frames of lag from doing the double jump probably ends up with you getting shined in a lot more spots than the float cancel would.
Okay.
Here it is again. All right, so we're gonna talk about something like that's really important that Armada's is, like that I picked up watching like Armada games, and that was a big problem when I was learning Peach. Is you have to play to get openings. So these like every time you do like this float pressure bear on shield, you're like you keep resetting to play really safe and like not committing to anything,
Yeah.
but it doesn't actually get you anything, right? Like every time you hit his shield here, you want to be looking for a way to convert this into an opening. So versus spacies, there's 3 ways you can do this. Like this jump never will get you a true opening, right?
Yeah.
Oh, like there is a way you can make this jump get you a true opening, but there's basically like every time you do this back air on shield or this back air, you want to be looking for a way to convert that. So instead of doing the jump back air out of habit, right? Because it feels really good because you hit the back air and you're like, oh, I'm gonna jump back, I'm gonna do it again, and it feels like really good pressure, but it's not.
Yeah.
So every time you land this back air, you want to be thinking about the actual mix-up, which is you can land. If he keeps shielding, you want to grab. So your first mix-up is you back air his shield and you grab it. Obviously, this loses, like if you're doing a high back air, this can lose to, depending on your timing, it can lose to shield grab. But a lot of the time, they'll just hold shield because they're scared. And you have to be willing to like turn them holding shield or them being stuck into an opening. And then 2, they can jump. Like, especially versus foxes, you'll see a lot of them jump out of shield here, right? And it's really annoying. So if you watch any, like, Armada game, he'll land this back air and shield and then instantly turn around and full jump up air.
Okay.
So we'll go through landing. We'll just put some aerial on shield, not plus. So high aerial on shield. Aerial on shield mix-ups. If they shield, grab. If they jump, you can call that out with full hop up air. Or you can just full hop aerial, but like full hop up air is the one with the most you get the most out of it. And then if they like the other thing they can do is they can roll, right? So they can roll in, they can roll out. So instead of doing it makes it like if you do this jump, you see this jump, it's like it makes it a lot harder to follow the roll if they rolled. You can do it. This is like a way to cover a roll. But a lot of the time you're like looking to like fall back on their shield, right?
Yeah.
So what the other thing you can do, which dodges shield grab, is you do the bear and then you dash back, and then you watch them, and if they roll in, you can grab them, right? Does that make sense? So one of Peach's main strengths of hitting shield, and you'll see it a lot in the Sheik matchup, is you just hit shield and dash.
Okay.
And this that can also catch if they keep spamming roll into the corner, you can follow them and you can catch their roll into the corner. But generally, like if they roll dash, and then most of the time it'll be dash back because dash back also beats shield grab in this spot if you do it properly.
Okay,
And then the last thing, if they mash shield grab out of this spot, which like every Marth will, you can down smash that.
Okay. Sounds good.
So like, does this make sense? How like if you follow, if you do this full hot, like if you do this, like you are in it, like you have to if the way you win in this game is you turn these positive situations into full openings. That's like the difference between like okay players and like the good players. Is the good players are like, I've hit him, like I've got him in this spot, and if I call out one of these things, I get a full punish. Yep. Whereas like you're like, I've got him in this spot, I don't want to lose it, I don't want to lose it, I don't want to lose it, I'm gonna bear him again. Yeah. So it's like just understanding that spot and understanding what tools you have to make a call out and turn that like advantage spot into like an actual open. And like that's going to be a big part of punish is probably we're going to talk about it later, is turning like a big part of punish is understanding where punish comes from. It's like what moves actually get you to your punish.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like the falling bear in itself isn't punish, but that falling bear could like if you use it properly, could lead to a grab, which is a full punish. Could lead to a full hop up air, which is a full punish. Could like lead to a roll read, which could be a grab or a down smash or something, which is a full punish. And if they shield grab, you could down smash that, which is a full punish, right? So it's like
Yeah,
it's
no,
all stuff that leads to a full punish, and we'll just keep going through that. I like this full hop call out.
yeah, I go for it a lot. Like, I always find spacies just love to jump.
Yeah, they do. It's good, but I also spam that full hop call out. But sometimes you just have to like the harder thing to do here actually is like a lot of like as much as spacies want a full hop, they also want to sit there and shield. So just like remembering to like if you notice the spacey not full hopping there and just spamming shield, you have to like remember to also grab them.
Yeah.
This is all good. Yep, that's good. Why'd you pull a turnip?
Because he flew away and
Yep. So this is going to be a big part is like reaction tech chasing. So we can start here. So basically with down smash, this is going to be one of the number one things you practice and number one thing I practice is you have to
Yep.
watch what like you have to get used to watching where the spacey goes with down smash, and then also being ready for like the spacey to attack off the down smash.
okay.
So in this spot, if I'm in your position, I'm like, okay, I got the down smash. What's happening? Okay, he flew this way, and I like because it's this situation's happened enough. I can instantly recognize he's either going down here, like he's either gonna just miss the platform, he's gonna hit the platform and like tech. So I'm literally so instead of pulling this turnip, I literally dash to either or if it's like a really bad DI, he might fly off stage. Either way, you really just want to dash and chase him.
Okay.
Because when you like once the down smash sends him a certain way, you dash there because either you're able to cover a tech or you're closer to him to be able to like pressure a jump or something. Because like at a point like Peach wants to be, you have to be a certain spacing to be able to threaten your options, right? So a big part of Peach is like as soon as you hit them, you have like this is every character. As soon as you hit them, you have to be chasing towards where they're gonna be.
Okay.
So in this spot, it'll probably come up again, so I won't explain it here, but every time you hit a spacey onto a platform, you can either 50-50 where you choose like you cover either the roll or the tech in place, or there is a way to reaction tech chase to cover all of it. But so in that spot, like you like in that spot, I would have dash offed. I would have dash offed and like looked to fair. So we'll go through this down smash. So I would have instantly dashed off and fared to like try and cover this tech in place while still being able to like have decent frame advantage to cover the roll.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
So we'll go through like this. This is a weird situation because you're above them, but we'll go through the other platform options in a sec when they come up. But yeah, like basically get used to pulling's only good if they're flying off stage.
Okay.
So 90% of the time, if the spacey is on stage, because like imagine you hit him in center stage, I reckon I would have seen like if you hit him with center stage and he went to the corner, you always want to be chasing him into the corner, even if you can't get like a true tech chase because he's too far away. You want to be chasing him to the corner to pressure rather than like sitting in center and pulling into him.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, this is just practice like you're out like practice coming down like practice off shield like it's hard but so in this spot I think you do shield drop and then I think was this an intentional fair, was this like a slapdash attempt?
It's a mix of the two of like sometimes I'll do fair and I want it to hit, but then I just fall too fast and I'm like, oh, that's a slapdash, and I'm like, but sometimes it's the other way around.
Yep.
I'm just not consistent.
So a thing with replays and what we'll talk about solo practice is like if you notice situations coming up in your games that happen over and over again, like so, or if there's like you just notice like a little thing like this, it was like, oh, this was a weird spot. As when you finish the session, literally just go into Uncle Punch for 5 minutes and practice it. You would notice yourself getting so much like if you notice a spot where you fail like 3 or 4 times, maybe it's a shield pressure spot, maybe it's like a little tech off platform spot, maybe it's like an edge guard or something. Literally like or just like any little tech thing that you notice being a problem, you just go after your session, spend 5 minutes on it. And you will notice if you do that after every session, focusing on a little thing you failed, you notice your entire game starts to become elevated. Because like because if you don't work on all the little niggling problems, they never go away.
Yeah.
But if you just spend a little bit of time on them, you spend 5 minutes on them, they like all the little tech problems start to go away. Yeah. This is like gonna be another thing. I'm assuming you wanted float here, but yeah, like I don't know. With Peach, if you're looking to do like fancy area, like if you're looking to do like proper spacing and like proper aerial falls and like all your pressure and stuff, you have to spend some time in Uncle Punch. Just getting like one of the solo practices I'll do to warm up is I literally just like go into either exercise is pretty good or L cancel training, and I literally just do like different aerials, different drifts, and I just like fall on the L cancel bot and I act out of it.
Okay. Yeah.
So you like if you're gonna do like fancy aerial movements and you're gonna rely on like your aerial pressure and you're gonna rely on your aerial spacing, you have to just like you have to go in and you have to warm yourself up for it. This is confidence and shield. So what went wrong here? Like what do you think you should have done instead?
Well, normally in that scenario, like, oh, I'm just waiting for him to approach and then he'll shine,
Uh-huh.
and then I'll act out of it either like with a grab. But that doesn't end up happening. So I keep doing the shield, trying to power shield,
Mm-hmm.
and like, yeah, and it's just a weird spot.
What are you trying to power shield here?
Oh well, first there's the lasers. First I try to get
Oh,
down to
okay,
the
sure.
ground.
If you think he's gonna like laser after this, but also, so you should never be reading lasers with power shield. You can always react to the laser coming out. So, and that makes it more consistent as well. Whereas, like, if you like, this is another thing where if you find yourself like doing weird stuff like this, or you find yourself getting stuffed by lasers, you just hop in power shield training for 5 minutes, and then
Yeah.
you like you versus Falco, you should always be unless the Falco is like right next to you. If the Falco is jumping on you with a laser, you have to read it. But if the Falco is doing a laser from like any sort of distance, you can always react to it. You should never be reading it because if you read it and you're in shit, then like suddenly things start going really wrong.
Yep.
Most of the time, you should be falling with fair here. The down air ends up working out, but generally, probably get used to falling with fair.
Yeah, because I'm always worried because sometimes I do the fair wind up, and then
Yeah.
they hit me with the side
Or
bear.
even bear's fine here. I don't know. The down air works out here. Maybe it's not that bad. But yeah, generally, like you wanna falling with dare can be really sketchy as well because fair has like almost the same wind up. It's like 4 frames different. I mean, dare has almost the same wind up. I think generally you'll see like the most Peach players go for like a bear here or something. If you're not worried for the wind up, generally like you fall with bear and it like covers them coming up. But it works out. It's fine. Yeah. Let's see what happens here. Yep, that was good. I like that. Like you see how what I mean is like you saw where he was going and you went to chase him. That's good.
Yeah.
You should be trying to do that like always. Yep, that was good.
So that I tried to go and grab him
Yep.
because I'm like, oh, top plat, he's gonna shield, but then I slide off.
Let's have a look. Oh, yeah, that's just that's really funny actually. But yeah, you just have to wave dash down instead
Yeah.
of diagonal. That was a really smooth wave dash actually. That was almost an angle zero wave dash. That was very impressive. That's very hard to do. Maybe it won't come up, but we'll see in a sec. I'll show you some of the. I'm happy for this to be a bit longer. But I'll show you some of the basic like training stuff I do versus spacies for like punish after at the end of this. I feel like I just missed my like I had the situation come up and my brain didn't see. All right, here we are. This is pretty good. Yep, up throw, tech chase. Yeah, this is fine at this percent. You don't really get much. The one thing I will say, okay, so if you at low percent, so from like until like maybe 80% ish, 70%, if they're below like yeah, if they're below like at least 60, generally 70, 80, you always back throw. If you can throw the spacey off the stage, they could just die. You throw the spacey, like, because no matter what, you, like, even if you tech read perfectly, like, even if you get your tech read here, you got 27, right? Like, if you throw the spacey off and you do, like, the same 50-50 read where you read a jump, or you read them going low with dare, or you read them side being with float and air, they're dead.
Yeah.
Do you like that? This is you have to win 3 more neutral openings to like take the stock, at best.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you're near the ledge and you can throw the spacey off the stage, and they're below like 70, because like 70 is when you can start up airing this and you can start killing them off that. But if they're below like, if they're, I think 70 is a pretty good rule. If they're below 70, just throw them off the stage, because if you guess right, they're just dead. And that's like, it's really important to just take the fit, like it's the big part about punish is just like take the risks that end up killing them if you're right.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
It's good. Rip.
Yeah.
This is just like I don't know. There's not much to say about this. It's just it's just practice and time. You just have to put the time in. Like if you want to play Peach, technically, you just have to put the time in.
Yeah.
That was good. I like covering that angle. Was actually smart. Yeah, that's fine. Small note, bear turnaround jabs really good in these like ambiguous situations, and like you do this full dash, but like in a lot of spots, especially in the corner and like shield pressure where the bear shield pressure isn't true, you can just bear turnaround jab and it'll catch jumps, it'll catch them trying to dash in, it catches a lot of things.
Okay.
So just like bear turnaround jabs are really good in a lot of ambiguous spots. It's just a small note. Alright, that's this is fine almost. Let's have a look again. Spacey recovery is really hard, and I won't go too into it. So this covers him going straight at you, which is fine. But so with spacey recovery, like you need to be able to, and like Peach float, you need to be able to recognize when your call out has failed, and you have to instantly drop the float. So imagine in this spot, you're like, okay, he didn't up B at me. Like I'm covering, all right, he up B'd up, right? You can see it at this spot. You can maybe even earlier, and you're like, okay, he didn't up B, drop float. Because if you're able to drop float instantly here, he lands, you grab or down smash. So that's like a basic covering thing. Like you'll see me do, you'll see everyone do. Where I'll fair, like I don't know if you've ever seen it, but I'll fair to cover the straight angle, and then if they go up, I instant drop and I down smash. So because if they land, this is like most common on FD when they don't have this platform to go to. But literally, I'll fair to cover in front of me, and if they land behind me from like a high up B or something, I'll down smash to send them back off the stage.
Yeah.
And it's just like as soon as you see them, as soon as you see that that you're like, this would be the same if he side beat high, right? As soon as you see that what your float, what you're trying to cover that the float can't cover, you just drop it.
Yeah.
Because if you hold it there, suddenly he's in an advantage spot where like you should have still had like pressure on him. Like this goes with the same thing. Like even if he side beat high and you were like float naring here to cover the low side beat, right? If you drop the float instantly, you still have pressure on the Falco landing on the platform. Whereas if you keep the float going, then you like lose all pressure and the Falco now has center.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's really good. I like that.
Yeah, as soon as you recognize your float can't cover what you're trying to cover, just let it go. Versus Falco, this works out here, but as soon as this hits, as soon as you hit, like Falco especially, but Fox as well, as soon as you hit Falco, you have to be ready to land and dash off. Because as soon as Falco can't get above stage, he's dead.
Yeah.
As soon as you hit Falco, like, with anything, and he has to go below stage, run off, he's dead. You just run off, because like, if he did a better DI, and he could have made it back to stage, you could have lost it.
Yeah.
Whereas no matter what DI, if you hit this nair, no matter what this DI, you hit this nair, you run off and you follow his drift down and you just nair his up B, he's dead. Every time. So getting used to instantly running off after you hit Falco is really, really good.
Okay. Yep.
But yeah, that was pretty good. You had some pretty solid basic follow-ups. You had some good intuition. It's just a bit of sloppy movement and a bit of sloppy like handling shield pressure, but I think it's just stuff that goes with time. Let's have a look at Marth, because Marth's a funny one. Has the stream dropped? Let's have a look.
Oh,
yeah, it does. We'll do that. Math's a funny one. Math makes no sense. Math Peach made no sense to me for like a year.
Okay.
I lost at every swinging Peach. Like every math that would just use F smash, I lost, and it took me like a year and a half to figure out why, and I felt really stupid once I did. But
Okay.
it was this weird thing where I'd have close sessions with Nick. I'd do really well. Like I'd be beating Rupert at the time, and then I'd go into unranked and I'd almost lose to like beginner beatdown Math who learned what the F smash button did.
Yeah.
So it's just like this is a really weird one where it's one of the most technical matchups in the game, one of the most intricate, but it's also one of the ones where requires the most it's the most if you have a basic game plan and you have like basic intuition, it's one of the most straightforward. Whereas like you can play it really simply up until a point. But it's like if you try to play it complex when you don't know how to play it simple, that's when you just lose.
Okay.
But we'll go through it and we'll see what happens. This is good. There's no okay, so rule number 1 versus Math that I've been trying to stick to recently is if you're at 0, if you're in CC range, or if you're 0 to 30, don't jump. Or like don't like try to stick as grounded as possible, especially if you have a turnip, because jumping's how you die. If the Math hits you on the ground, like F throw gets him at most like 20. Like F throw, he has to tech chase. It's like most of the time he's getting under 20 with F throw. If he's doing an aerial and you CC it, he like has to make a read to get another follow up, and like potentially you can counter hit. But like if Math hits you while you're on the ground at 0, most of the time he's getting under 20%. If Math hits you while you're in the air, especially if you double jump, I might put this down as Math rules. If Math hits you in the air, like with a nair, especially if you double jump, he could just nair, fair, take your stage, air smash, cover the ledge, you're dead.
Yeah.
Right? So it's burst Math at low percent. You want to stay as grounded as possible, and if you want to jump, it's for like a very specific reason. So here, like, there's no point, like, and you have turnip, you have advantage. So
Yeah, I after looking through this game, I do jump a lot, and I'm like, that's bad. I don't
Yeah.
know why I did it.
you don't really achieve anything, right? Because like you're jumping like this. It can be good. There are spots like where jumping's really good, especially with the platform stages. But like while you have a turnip, like there's not really like, especially jumping forward. Bear's amazing versus Math, and we'll go through that in a minute. But while you have a turnip, basically all you want to do is you want to basically dash dance, and you want to either like shield, throw the turnip back, or you can like bear, or you want to do like an aerial on the ground to catch Math coming in, or you want to do just like this float bear and drop down to cover like a dash stack or like a grab or something. Does that make sense? Like while you have this turnip, you want to stay grounded and either throw the turnip or like do a slight float aerial to catch like a nair, or you want to do grounded floats to catch him trying to come in to punish your turnip.
Okay.
So most of like as a rule, like you don't want to be double jumping around, you don't want to be flying, you want to be grounded, like looking to catch him coming in by either throwing a turnip, or you want to catch him like overextending with a grounded aerial, or you want to catch him overextending by going above whatever move he's doing and coming down on it.
Yeah.
So you don't want to be moving, like you want to be very restrictive with how you move forward, especially while you're in the air. Yep. So full drift in versus Math. Most of the time you're doing this float. If you do this jump, like you see this jump here, it should be a read on him coming down on you. Does that make sense? Like most of the time you're not going to catch, like Math Fair is too good at catching you coming in. Most of the time, like how you use Peach aerials, and if you watch Armada, how he uses Peach aerials is it catches the Math, like how he would have done this is he would have floated here, like do you see where my mouse is?
Yep.
Instead of floating in to try and hit the Math, he'd jump up, float here, and wait for the Math to fall with an aerial and then fall after. Does that make sense? So I'll put this in my notes so I can remember to put it after. But Math, fall on Math after he commits. So most of the time you're using your aerial, you want to fall on the Math, not fall into the Math. So like the Math does a move and you fall on top of him, rather than just attacking him with an aerial. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So Math does this, like this is the same, like if Math, like you can jump up, just hold this float, and if Math like grabs or dash attacks the ground, you just fall on him. You can do that with fair and bear, but like most of the time you don't want to be trying to hit him with it. Yep, that's fine. Um. So Marth tech chasing. If you note it, like you get this tech chase. You can after you like you if you can react and dash attack this. Nair's too slow. But what I'll generally do versus Marth, if you watch me versus Marth, and I think you if you watch most Peaches versus Marth, I'll jump.
Okay.
So what jumping does here is you can jump, and you can fair like if he get up attacks, you can fall with fair, and that gets
Yep.
you full opening. If you think he's gonna roll in, you can fall backwards with fair. And if you think he's going to the corner, you can sort of fall fair. Like he's pushing himself into the corner, you can fall with fair and pressure the corner.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Like if you hit Marth and you don't think you have time to get a true punish, like if Marth lands like this, generally what I'll do is I'll just jump here. Because a lot of the time they'll get up attack or they'll like get up attack, normal get up, roll in, right? These are the options. And like a lot of the time you can place a like you can jump and place a fair to cover the get up attack, cover whatever, while staying like really safe. So you can turn this into like a 50-50 full opening without putting yourself in a position to lose to get up attack.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, so hit Marth. Marth miss tech, jump and fair is like a pretty good one. And I'll go through, I'll put more details after. This was insane. This was I'm stealing this. This is mine now. I've never seen this in my life. This is bonkers. What the what the hell was that? Wait, let me watch that. This was the smartest air dodge I've ever seen. I have no comment. I don't know how you thought of this, but
Well, I remember first time I versed Rupert was at a local at GG Easy, and afterwards, like the next day, he messaged me going like, "Oh, hey, like I just want to give you some tips. I didn't want to say at the time, yada yada yada." But
yep.
he's like, "You should actually air dodge a lot more in the Marth matchup because you were just doing stuff where I knew where you're going to be, and air
Uh-huh.
dodging makes it a 50-50. So if you air dodge more, it the Marth has to guess. And so I've been really like that's always
That's
in the
so
back of my
funny.
mind. I
I
need to air dodge
guarantee
more. Yeah.
this is not what he was talking about.
I think he meant
So
it at ledge, but like
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, it was about ledge and edge guarding, but then, like I don't know. This is actually really smart because you sort of put yourself in this vulnerable position. He's like, okay, I'm gonna swing it, and then you air dodge into him, and now you're under him. That's nuts. Okay, I'm stealing that. I like that. I have no further comment on that situation because
Okay.
I've never seen it before. um, this dash attack, I don't know. It's to cover him like coming out of shield. It's fine. Do it like don't get greedy with this. So like if you notice yourself doing this dash attack over and over again, either do an aerial to pressure a shield or grab it. Because it's like this works sometimes, but like you have to recognize quick when they're the sorts of player to realize that and just hold shield, and you have to punish that. Because it's like
Okay.
it's too easy with Peach to get used to try and dash attacking them out of everything, and you have to make them do something. It's
Okay.
like if
Yeah.
you don't if it's a player who's prone to shielding and you don't do something to make them not want to shield, this will never work. And this is a free opening if you dash stack shield, right?
Yeah.
So it's just be like when you're dash stacking shield because when you're dash stacking shield because you recognize if they move out of shield it hits. Just be wary that you have to make them want to go out of shield.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I've done this dash attack a million times, but yeah, it's not. You just have to be cognizant of it. Yep. If you're like as just a simple rule, if you're in lag, hold down.
Okay.
This is a rule across the board, like pretty much all the time, outside of like very specific situations. But if you commit to a move, like this is especially important on Peach. Like if you commit to this grab, you want to be holding down. Because the reason you want, and like, even you can even go further and you want to be holding like down diagonal because that's the best DI for Marth F throw. But like basically, if you commit to a move and like you see it whiffing or like you expect it like or like if you commit to a laggy move like a down smash or you commit to a laggy move like a grab, you want to just hold down so you can avoid getting like easily opened up like this. Because if you are holding down, you probably just like land on the ground. And like it's a much harder spot for Marth to follow up than you being nice and juicy in the air like this. That's just like a simple rule. Whereas like if you're in lag, hold down. And like this is and like this, we'll expand this. If you're in lag, it's like this is really important versus Marth and versus Spacies. Whereas if you notice yourself whipping something and you think you're gonna get grabbed, or I think it's the same DI for up smash as well versus Spacies, or like versus Marth, you want to be already doing the correct DI for throws.
Okay, yeah.
Does that make sense? That's why Armada is so hard to throw, right? Because if you recognize your move is going to miss and you think you might get grabbed, just be ready and do the correct DI for throws because you can't react to being thrown.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Well, yeah, if you notice Armada, he's just like, he like almost never does straight up. That's because every time he does something that can get grabbed and like he recognizes it's probably going to miss, that like he's already doing the thing that makes him not, makes him not die when he gets grabbed.
Okay, yeah.
It's a small thing. This is good. You can don't feel afraid to take space when you have a turnip. So most of the time with a turnip, what I'll be doing is I'll be dash shielding and like watching what they do. And like if I see them dashing in, I can like throw the turnip or something. And if I see them dashing out, I can either like wave dash out and like wave dash forward, wave dash back, do whatever, float. But it's this sort of thing when you have the turnip, don't feel afraid to take space and just you wanna stay at this range where it's like this mid-range. Like, how do I explain this? So you want the Marth to be like about here. Like, do you see what the Marth is? So you want to sort of like dash and like use shield to keep the Marth in this area. And then you like when you think the Marth's gonna move forward into that area, that's when you throw. But you don't get impatient and just throw for the sake of having a turnip out. Like you want to throw when you think the Marth is gonna run into you, and you want to throw when the Marth's in this area.
Okay, yeah, makes sense.
See, like it's like this sort of, and it leads to this situation, right? Where you're just throwing for the sake of throwing. You're like, oh, he's not going in. I'm gonna jump and throw, but you're in Narnia,
Yeah.
right? This isn't gonna hit. This is gonna put you in a bad spot. The master's like, oh, I get to move forward for free now because he threw the turnip. Cool.
Yeah.
He threw the turnip and moved forward because he's like, oh, because like I don't know, you just sort of freaked out that the opponent wasn't moving forward, and you just sort of gave up too much. Whereas all you have to do is hold the turnip and move forward. Because you have to. How bad Marth is awful in the corner. If you're in center with a turnip and Marth's in the corner, he's fucked. So like if you notice the Marth not wanting to move forward versus the turnip, you can just move forward. He has to enter like in order for the Marth to hit you, he has to enter the space where he can get like abused by the turnip. Like you shouldn't be like you should sort of be like walking the dog. Where you're like you sort of like walk towards him and you have to make him want to come in, and because like the turnip's best when he wants to come in. Did you win the set or did you lose the set, by the way?
I lost.
Yeah. See, and this is like a big 70% punish. But yeah, go ahead.
I got demolished this game.
So like I think there's a lot. I think the secret thing with Marth is there's just like a lot of small things that like it feels bad, whereas like there's a lot of unintuitive things where you sort of like it's holding the turnip and taking space with it. It feels really unintuitive because you want to like throw it to protect yourself, but you're actually like perfectly safe, and like the turnip like you sort of like the turnip isn't just like a free neutral win. It's just like a big advantage that you have to hold on, like that you're allowed to hold on to, and like the turnip's only good catching the Marth coming in. So if the Marth doesn't want to come in, then like you have to force him into a spot, like you have to force him into that range by going into the corner, or you can just like walk and hold that space until you think the Marth's coming in. But you have once you have the turnip and you have space, you have control, and you don't have to give it up. This is all fine. Let's see how you come down, yeah. Try not to get greedy. Most of the time, you'll be doing, like, drift mix-ups. Like, sometimes on FD, I'll up B to come down. Like, most of the time, this dare doesn't work unless you mix them up a lot with, like, air dodge and stuff. So, like, versus Marth, it's really good to learn. So, when you come down like this, one of the most important things, like, I've learned versus Marth, is, like, the Marth hits you up here, alright, you're coming down. What you can do is first of all, you should be mixing up when you fast fall. But if you fast fall here, and you think the Marth's going to up air you here, You actually want to try and time your air dodge to go through it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like if like you can like just like think about trying to time your air dodge to go through moves. Like especially air dodge down, because air dodge down gets you under the math. So it's like getting used to air dodging down through moves, or just like air dodging in through moves is really good. Just like try to like get you like where you'll just watch the math, and like when you where you expect the math to hit you, try to air dodge through it.
Okay. Yeah. Because
Instead.
sometimes I do air dodge to ledge,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I always feel like that's like a very desperate option.
Yeah, exactly. You want stage. Peach wants stage. You always want to try and go for stage, and like one of the best ways to do it is like if your opponent's gonna greed and do a move, air dodge through it, and now you're on stage.
Yeah.
So it's
makes
like,
sense.
but yeah, it's like and it's like just in general, just like air dodging through instead of just like air dodging somewhere like up in Narnia. You want to wait for them to go to hit you, and the second before they hit you, you want to air dodge through the move and past them. Or you want to like air dodge on the edge of the move and go down if they cover like you air dodging in, because like a lot of people like you'll see masks like faring backwards, right? And if you air dodge in, they catch you. Instead of air dodging in like through the fair, you want to air dodge down. So if the mask like fades backwards, then you just land on stage. But we'll see if that comes up. But yeah, like practice air dodging through the moves instead of just coming down with aerials. And just like try different types of air dodges. Like try air dodge down, like try air dodge diagonally away, try air dodge like to the right, and like different flades. Just like get used to trying different air dodges, because there's a lot of them, and they're all good in different situations.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'll also like the aerials coming down, right? They're best when they're like you want to sort of condition your opponent to get hit by them, if that makes sense. Where you how do I explain this? Where like if you air dodge through their move 50 times, suddenly they're gonna wait, right?
Yeah.
And if they wait, that's when you can hit or if they wait or if they try to go higher to hit you, that's when you can do the move, right? Because they're waiting for you to do the air dodge, and if you do the move instead, that's when it will hit. But generally, they'll always be trying to cover the move first. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So like you wanna with Peach, it's you're playing the long game. You wanna make them cover the air dodge, and then you wanna do the move to hit them.
Yeah.
Because you have to remember, like if I'm the Marth, I don't want to get hit by the Peach coming down, so I'm gonna cover the move. So you can recognize that and go, okay, I'm gonna air dodge instead. And he's like, oh shit, he's air dodging through me every time. I'm gonna try and cover the air dodge. You're like, ha, now I'm gonna fair you.
Yeah.
Right? So it's all just about recognizing like risk reward, and because your opponent also recognized this. This was almost good, by the way. Let's have a look at this again. I've seen some of your clips on Twitter, and they're very cute. So there's some really cool things. Yeah, this is good. Whenever you're daring Marth, watch his drift. It's like you dare him here, you see him going in you move back.
Yeah.
So and like if you see him going out, you follow him. So whenever you dare Marth, follow him. Or like this is any character, right? If Fox up Bs and like tries to SDI through you, right? Just follow him back to the stage and you can nair him back off.
Yeah.
Instead of having to do this, right? Like at best, if that hit, it hits him to the stage, right? But if you are able to recognize that he was going in you and you were able to like dare backwards, you could just nair him off stage again.
Yeah.
But that was good. Like I like the turnip placement was good, and the dare was good. God bless Peach down smash. Oh.
I thought
Edge cutting Marth.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a hard one. So how do I explain this? So the best way to approach it until you're really comfortable with the Armada stuff is you want to cover stage. So it's the same way you edgeguard Peach, or like the same way you have to think about Peach is even if you don't get the edgeguard, number one, you don't want to die, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to get reversaled out of your edgeguard, because that ruins the whole point of the edgeguard, right? And number two, you don't want to give them center. So like because even if you miss the edgeguard, if they're still in the corner and you have a turnip, you're in a good position, right?
Yeah.
So it's much better to go for the option that like it's much better to go for an option that doesn't cover much, but keeps you in center in the mouth in the corner, and you have a turnip. So like these sorts of reads where you go out and you hard read an option, that stuff you want to keep in your back pocket. Does that make sense? Like you don't want to just do it. Because that wasn't worth, like, you don't want to just do it. Because like you didn't have the you didn't have the read on him that it would fall, right? You just guessed because you
Yeah.
haven't seen the situation yet. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You just
Yeah,
picked
yeah.
a random option that you've seen Marth do, and you're like, maybe he'll do that. And like, okay, how do I explain this? Like, if he does that, you get the kill, right?
Yeah.
But if he doesn't, you die.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So that's
Yeah.
a 50-50. Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
That's not good.
But yeah, that's why that's what I'm gonna try and get to is like that's a 50-50. If you guess right, you kill him. If you guess wrong, you die. But when you're playing edge guards in these spots, it's like maybe, but you pull this turnip and you throw the turnip and like you cover center and you cover him going like, and you cover him going high or something, or you cover him like coming down like mid range. And it's like maybe that turnip has like a 20% chance of hitting and 20% chance of converting into a kill, but you never die.
Yeah.
So you see how that option is now like infinitely better than taking the 50-50? Because
Yeah,
it's like there's a 20% success rate, but you don't die and you're in a good position after.
Yeah.
But now's where it gets a bit fancy, and this is where like a big part of punish comes in, where if you do the 20% turn up edge guard every time and you like cover stage, you keep yourself safe, and they keep doing the thing, and they keep doing the thing that protects themselves from that, so they don't die to it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now you can go, okay, he's done this option 7 times in a row. Suddenly the 50-50 isn't a 50-50 anymore.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Whereas you want to do the safe option until the unsafe option becomes a safe option.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, makes sense.
So, and every time you do the safe option where you pull this turnip, you cover him going to stage, right? Let's just have a look what I would have done like in this situation, Edgeguard Marth. So he's up here. I probably would have waited on my jump to see where his drift was. First of all, I would have dashed. I would have pulled this turnip. I'm like, okay, he did this side B. I'm gonna try and like I'm gonna like jump and I'm gonna throw the turnip under him to like try and catch him coming in.
Yep.
If that makes sense. Whereas like if he falls to like, all right, we'll go through. I'll explain it frame by frame. All right, I pull the turnip. Yep. And then I'm gonna throw. I'm gonna run to and I notice he side Bs, so I'm still on the ground. And then I'll like wait a little bit more, and I'll like throw the turnip back to cover either under him, or I'll like wait for him to drop and like throw the turnip to catch a jump. But like no matter where I'm throwing the turnip, I'm still holding this space.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's just the sort of thing you like versus Marth, you want to wait a bit and you never want to commit into space that gets you reversal.
Yeah.
And just like there's something I'm sure, I don't know if you've watched them all, but I've watched all the Armada Edgeguard videos on YouTube. Have you seen them?
Maybe.
Okay,
I've watched
okay.
a lot of Armada, but yeah, it's been a while since I've watched his videos.
There's 3 amazing videos that I'll link you right now that I've watched like individually.
Yeah. I mean, look.
Maybe like 10 to 15 times each.
Okay.
That's good. And it's literally just like Armada edgeguarding every character. And just like what he does. So you can just have a look at like just notice how he keeps himself safe and notice what he's calling out when he's calling it out, because it's generally like a read that's being built up after he was keeping himself safe.
Okay.
So just like these videos are amazing where you can sort of get the idea of like, so because it's kind of confusing. It shows you where do you put your turnips when you're edgeguarding Marth, like where do you put your dare when you're edgeguarding Marth. It's just like all the little things that like are really complicated. And it's like, how long do you wait when you edgeguard Marth? It's just like watching these videos sort of gives you an idea of like where to put yourself. So
Yeah.
which is really important. Like it takes a really like it's really hard to intuit it. So these videos are amazing.
Yeah.
It's a hard spot, but if you're doing this, hold down. If like verse Marth Fair, when you know the Marth Fair is like spaced, like he's purposely like spacing it, down smash won't work. Like you see how he faded it back. Down smash won't work and shield grab won't work. The only thing that does work is you have to instantly react in either dash attack or nair. So getting used to like something you do, like something worth in practice is just CC dash attack, CC nair. So like those are the two options that like. So you want to get used to like when people space outside of your CC down smash range, you want to get used to CC dash attack.
Okay. Yeah.
Because if you get hit by this fair isn't safe, right? It feels safe. Because you're like even if you didn't have shield, right? It feels safe, but it's not safe. If you do a, because it's got like it's like neg 20 or something. But obviously, if you don't, like, you need to be comfortable moving out of that CC and moving, like, doing an attack forward rather than always committing to CC down smash. That's like a small thing, but just getting used to or the other option is you can just like dash back and get out of there.
Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah,
like
I
yeah.
didn't know crouch cancel was even an option there, to be honest.
Well, you're already crouch canceling. Look, like, do you see how you're holding down, not going anywhere?
Yeah.
Like you're already
but,
doing.
like, yeah.
So like obviously, like you CC down smash everything, right? Like CC down smash this. Like you've seen Peaches like try it, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, like, it's just sort of recognizing when they're out of CC range. Like, you see, like, he's out of CC range. Like, recognizing when he's out of down smash range and just, like, either dashing back to get out of there or, like, rolling, like, dashing back to get out of there or, like, or doing dash attack to, like, punish him for being just outside your down smash range.
Okay, yeah.
Like, do you see? Like, this was a CC. Like, it's funny that you say, like, you weren't aware of it because this was a CC grab. Like, you see how you're holding down and grabbing?
Yeah.
This was a CC. This is like this. What I mean. This was like this was a CC attempt, even if you didn't realize.
Yeah,
Like, you see?
yeah. I do know that I hold down and shield, but I'm like, I didn't think CC dash attack would even work. Like,
Yeah.
it's not even. I didn't think it was an option at all.
Mhm.
Like, so yeah, that's really.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thanks.
So for when your opponent does like a space move on your CC, you can CC dash attack or CC now. And I'm like, the execution on both of those is pretty tough. So it's something that like you can do in like Uncle Punch reversal training or something. Just get like it's just something worth practicing.
Yep. Okay. Cool.
Yep, this is good. I don't mind this. So let's have a look. How do you get caught here? Yep. So generally, like the mix-up I'll play here, is so in this spot, like you always want to be thinking about how do I get a turn up here, which is really good. Like how do I get a turn up safely, or how do I feint a turn up? Because you're like in a disadvantaged spot, and he's sort of looking for you to pull it, or looking for you to get greedy with it. Like the two things the master's looking for in neutral right now is for you to get greedy with a dash attack, or for you to pull a turn up. So what you want to do here is you sort of want to feint. So something you can do here, which is kind of good, where like you can like dash back, crouch, and you can like jump bear. And what that will do is he'll come in to like punish you for like going back and trying to pull a turnip, but then you'll bear on top of him.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? It goes back to falling on Marth. Whereas like what you want to do is you want to make Marth like attack where you are, and then you can like and then you can fall on him. Or you can make Marth like, or you can make Marth think you're gonna fall down. Like if you jump and float, and the Marth like nares you for like trying to come down, you can just hold that float and you can fair him.
Yeah.
So like a lot of Marth is like baiting him, and then you can just like use bear or use fair to just fall on him. So like you can like dash back here to like threaten a turnip pull, and then you can like jump bear or like jump fair or even like down tilt or something. And then like once he starts, and then like if you start doing these baits and like he falls for it like once or twice, now you can either just pull a turnip or you can like move forward to like threaten him coming in.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's like a weird spot, but just like learning to bait and pull turnips. And learning falling on Marth is going to be a big one. So you sort of have to, like, a lot of masks, like, that's what I'm trying to explain. Like, a lot of masks don't, like, want to go into this range. So you don't want to give them the dash attack.
Okay, yeah.
But but you sort of have to make that's the whole, like, turnip thing in this matchup. Whereas, like, if you pull a turnip, the Marth has to go into your range to cover that turnip. So that's when you dash attack.
Okay.
So it all comes from stage one is you have to threaten pulling the turnip. So like if you rewire your entire brain to think about this matchup about like getting and baiting turnip, it becomes like a lot easier. And if you notice the Marth isn't like even playing that threat range, then you can just pull.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, this is just another thing. Be really careful how you use float here. So if I got hit here, I get hit here. I wouldn't just float here. I would sort of fall and then like float. Like I would float above this up tilt.
Okay. Yeah.
So what you can do is you can use float to like bait moves. So if I'm falling, he's like, okay, I'm gonna up tilt him because he's falling, right? And you float just above the up tilt.
Yeah.
And then you can fall on him with fair.
Yeah.
So you can turn this really bad situation into like an opening for you. You just like recognizing like what your opponent's trying to do and like using float to just stop your momentum. So like holding float and double jump's really important for like holding just like start thinking about when you could have used float to dodge things and when you could have like used float to like stop your momentum or change your momentum.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
double jump as well. Just like get used to not just like gunning them to get out, just used to like fall. And the same thing with air dodge. Like try to think about dodging moves and like punishing your opponent for moves
Yeah.
when you're falling. Oh my god, we're a minute in. Oh. Yep, this is good. This is another thing. You throw this turnip. Yep, that's good. Dash stack pull, good. Catch his landing. Catch him coming in, good. Do you see how the turnip's good at
Yeah.
the Marth coming in?
Yeah.
You see? And now here's another thing. You didn't have to throw here. Do you see how you could have taken the space and now the Marth like you could have taken the space and now the Marth like has to come in because he's in the corner? So like
Yeah.
you don't have to throw from like you don't have to throw all the way over here. You can dashboard, shield, and then throw.
Yeah.
Also a cute.
Slowly,
Yep.
just slowly push him into the corner.
Yep.
Like it's
Exactly.
so simple now that you're just
Yeah.
pointing it
Yeah.
out.
Like it's the matchup that makes you feel really dumb once people start explaining things.
Yeah.
Also, like a small thing to remember, like I was talking about like shield throwing turnips, like it's really important to stutter the timing of your turnips, just in case like once people start power shooting them and everything. But it's did you know throwing the turnip backwards actually gives it more momentum?
Yeah.
So most of the time I'll be like dash dancing and then do like a small dash back and then throw the turnip forward. It's
Yeah.
like I'll do dash shield, throw turnip back. So you get, like it's like a sort of like shield pivot, throw turnip. So you just dash back and throw the turnip the other way. And it gives it more momentum and it keeps you at like a safer spacing. And it makes it more ambiguous to when you're gonna throw it. Because you just dash back.
Yeah.
It's like this sort of thing, it's just like it's important to keep your throws ambiguous. See how you're not in the like imagine if you're in like the golden range I was sort of talking about with Marth. Imagine if instead of throwing this turnip here, you threw this turnip here. Like you
Yeah.
ran forward, you threw this turnip here. Suddenly it is catching his landing, and you get that nair. So it's like it's just really important to take your space and like either make the Marth go in or take your space before you do the air turnip approach.
Yeah,
See what I
that's
mean? Is like you think Marth wants to go in here. Marth actually doesn't want to go in.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
you do you see what I'm sort of talking about with like turnips and feigning turnips to like make the Marth go in? It's like as a Peach player, it's really scary. He's like, oh, Marth is a sword. He's gonna come and attack me. And the Marth player's like, man, I hope I don't have to attack him. That'd be lame. It's like, man, I hope he just like does this dash attack at me, and then I get a free opening. That's the Marth, right? It's like you're like, oh no, sword, lame. But you're just like you when you're playing Peach versus Marth, you're just like, I have to make him want to attack me, and I do that by pulling. And then once you start pulling, you can start using shield, which beats like F smash and dash attack, and you can start like jumping over and falling on the Marth, which beats those things, or you can start dash attacking him coming in. But all of it stems from making the Marth want to go in, because the Marth doesn't want to go in naturally. It's not his nature.
Okay.
It's like the scorpion and the frog. The scorpion doesn't want to go in this analogy. The Peach is like, why didn't you attack me? And it's like the scorpion's like, it's not in my nature.
Yeah.
And why would he? Because I'm like, if you're gonna dash attack this like random distance in front of him and he's gonna get a free opening, he's like, all right, man, that's a lot less risky than me running in forward smashing and getting shielded.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, I hated this.
Yeah.
I'm like, just
Yeah. Yeah,
grab
just grab the
ledge.
ledge. Yeah,
Oh my
that's just a
god.
small thing, but like just like watch where your opponent is. Just like
Yeah.
just watch him. And if you're like and if you watch your opponent while you're edge guarding enough, you just get the better feel for when he's able to grab ledge. So
Yeah.
like I think the important thing here is like just be a bit, and this is what I was going to talk about with the edge guard earlier, is just wait a little bit. Like run up, threaten, and then just like see where they are and like sort of figure out what you can do. Because like if you just like ran up and you're like, oh, he's down here with double jump, I have to grab the ledge.
Yeah.
But because like I think you just sort of made assumptions based on where he was instead of just like watching him.
Yeah.
You could just like watch him and wait a little bit and then like turn around, like wave dash grab the ledge or like float grab the ledge. Alright, it works out anyway. To watch. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Is like there's. Do you see how you're not like you pull this
Yeah.
turnip, great. Or like you get hit, that's great. That's a really good pull because like you see how he do you see what I mean about his nature?
Yeah. Yeah.
Scorpion doesn't want to go in. Scorpion wants to wave dash back and wait for you to do a shitty dash stack. So you get this pull, which is
Yeah.
good. And like, do you see how you just throw it?
Yeah.
Imagine if you moved forward and he keeps dashing back, eventually he's going to hit the corner. Or eventually he's going to want to go in and then you throw it to catch him going in.
Yeah.
Instead of just throwing it. Like, do you see how powerful a tool this is? Like, once you start using it properly? And do you see how, like, in this sense, turnips are almost a bait because you throw it and you're like, oh, I'm safe now. But because you threw it from so far away, you're actually in a worse position than before you threw it. Yep. Do you see how you can just you can take the space and then in you dashing forward, it's gonna make him want to go in. Does that make sense? So you can dash forward and just wait and then throw the turnip because you dashing forward makes him want to go in. But you like dashing in the corner, like he doesn't want to do anything. He's like, I'm just chilling.
Yeah.
Oh, how much do we get? Oh, that's sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just like taking more, like if more with more time, you will recognize it. So like this is just like a small thing with tech chasing. Is every time you like, it's gonna take some time because this is like one of the hardest things in the game. Where's this turnip coming out? Here, yeah. So every time, yeah, every time you hit your opponent, you should be recognizing whether they're gonna be able to attack or not, and you should be like readying yourself to cover one of those techs if you recognize they're gonna attack.
Okay. Yeah.
Does that make sense? So like if I'm in this situation, I throw this turnip. I dash forward to pick it up, but I'm staring at the Marth, seeing where he's going to tech, and then I'm either going to throw the turnip to cover tech in place, or I'm going to throw the turnip to like, or I'm going to keep pressure on to like nair tech in place or something. Whereas like, it's sort of just every time you hit your opponent, and they have the like, you should be getting used to just like staring at them and seeing if they're going to tech and getting ready to cover a tech.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's going to improve your punish game like a million times. And that's just something you're going to get used to. Like every time you hit your opponent, you should be like looking for where they're going to go and you should be looking at like what their DI is going to like you should be ready to follow their DI or ready to follow a tech.
Yeah.
Let's put the notes. I will finish up this game quickly and then I'll explain like reaction tech chasing and using Uncle Bunch to find stuff.
Yep. Sounds good.
I think just like a small example. Nice. You took a bit, yeah, you took a bit of space here. All right, that pull's really good. You see how he doesn't want to go in? That's good.
Yeah.
And like that throw's fine. And like, do you see how the throw catches him going in? It's just sort of explaining turnips are to catch the Marth going in. And just wrap your mind around that.
Yep.
Yep. Do you see? And this is another spot where I'm talking about falling on the Marth. Do you see how you could have done this jump here? And if you jumped a bit higher, you could have baited the dash stack and then fell on the Marth.
Yeah.
It's like always think about like when you do these aerials, it's not about falling into it's about you want the Marth to do a thing and you want to fall on top of him after he does the thing. This is every character. So like the way you use Peach's float is you want to fall on top. So you want them to because they can do an aerial. Imagine like a fox bombing a nair here, and then you fall on top of them with fair. So the goal of Peach's float is to fall on top of them after they like whiff. Sure. This is just stuff. This is just like what? Like, I think this is okay. But it's like, yeah, once you start thinking about, like, my entire game plans about, like, feinting turnips and punishing for them, it's going to be, like, a lot clearer why you're doing all these moves.
Yeah.
Because when you verse a good player and they just, like, stand at the edge of your range and that you just flail moves, they're just going to place a move there. Like, they're going to walk at the edge of your range and they just put a move there and you're going to be screwed. So it's, like, really good to, like, get used to understanding about, like, that the matchup is, like, pushing and pulling based on turnips. That was good. I like that a lot. Dude, this is falling into your opponent as well to an extent. Whereas like he does a move and you fall backwards into it at the end of it.
Yeah.
That's how you want to do Peach aerials. Is you want to fall backwards into the move at the end of it. Yep, that was good weight. Oh, I like that. That was a cute little hack stash. I used to have to do that. Yep, that's unfortunate. Yep, just missed it. So, Marth on ledge. Just pull a turnip and sit in this range.
Okay.
You don't have to do anything. Like, literally, just, like, you can just dash back, pull a turnip. It sucks. Like, ask any Marth if you're, like, I'm on the ledge, and, like, this Peach keeps, like, throwing turnips and, like, walling me out there at, like, this range. Just ask them how much it sucks, and they'll tell you.
Okay.
So just get used to, like, this is what I'm talking about with edge guards as well. Like, you want to force the Marth to go to ledge, and then you want to pull a turnip, and you want to throw in pressure from, like, over here. And then, like, maybe the Marth, like, gets up and you can fall on him with a fair or something. But it all comes from just, like, pressuring him with turnips.
Okay, yeah.
Because Marth just doesn't have good ledge options. So, like, really abuse him. Yep. And this comes down from just getting too greedy to hit. Like, do you see how you're just doing, like, a move? Like, imagine if you're thinking of it, like, and you should have been drifting this out as well. But just, like, imagine changing your mind to every time you want to get hit, every time you get hit, you're either going to try and punish him for doing a move early, or you're going to try and go through the move.
Yeah, okay.
Or, the third thing, if you have float or if you have double jump, you want to pause just above the move.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Just like think about when you're coming down, not just doing a move or like picking an option to get out, but like try to dodge a move. Dodge a move or hit your opponent for trying to do a move too early.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So like try restructure coming down around your opponent's moves rather than just what you do. And you don't have double jump here, so yeah, you're done. But yeah, that was yeah. I think that's just a lot of small little micro things and just too big risk taking and like not understanding how to use your advantage. Because like it was so obvious. Like if you just sat there and pulled turnips and like you punished and eventually like Kiwi would have like come in with a dash attack and you just fell on him when he did that, like you would have won that set.
Yeah.
So it's just like a lot of little macro things. We'll go into. I'm happy to have a long one. I just like talking about Peach, so I'm not even worried about the time if you're not.
No, I got all the time in the world.
Sweet.
This
All right.
is really good. I'm loving it.
I appreciate that a lot. All right, Uncle Punch. This wizardry software. It's good. It's very good. Can you see that?
I can.
All right. So a few things. So like, what do you do in Uncle Punch right now? What do you do for solo? I think I saw you on your stream doing a little bit of solo. But what do you do in solo?
So I had first just a solo practice thing that Josh does. And it's just like, a couple of minutes, just dash dancing across the stage, practice L canceling, wave dashing, do a couple of techs like sub floats and stuff like that, and then 5 minutes of just beating up a CPU and you're good. And do that probably 2 or 3 times a week, and you just work on the stuff you want to get better at. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds good. And I kept that up for like maybe 3-4 months, and then yeah, I just kind of stopped for a while, and now I've made a new one where I'm like, okay, here's all the different tech and stuff I want to do, and like just be aware of it, if that makes sense. And yeah, so I just have now this whole big list of like, okay, this is the stuff I want to work on, and I just kind of keep doing it every now and again.
That's pretty good. So I guess what I can start with is like where solo practice fits in. So basically, I think solo practice is best. So it's warm up and cool down. So like solo practice, like first of all, going into a session like not playing and like not practicing your stuff is like a recipe for failure. Because like you're like because like you're thinking about warming up, your hands are cold, you're not doing anything. There's an opponent hitting you. You have to think about that. It's like really hard to get yourself into the proper mind space, to like play the game and like practice all the things you want to practice without just freaking out and pressing this button. So first of all, like before you play a session, you should be playing like maybe 10 to 15 minutes of, or like at least 5 minutes, but generally like 10 to 15 minutes of just like solo practice warm up. And I think having a list of like having a basic list of things to do just for like 30 seconds each, like 1 minute each. Like, do you see what I'm doing? This is literally like what I do like initially to warm up. Like, do you see how I'm just like dashing around? I'm just doing different tech. I'm just like moving around. I'm doing like fast falls. I'm doing like whatever, shield pressure, all this like little stuff on like this little CPU. Like I can do aerial chains. It's just like this sort of thing. Like I have an idea. I'm getting my hands warm. I'm like moving around. I'm doing like little dash dances. It's just like if you have like this idea of things, you can have a list, or you have like a basic list in your head of like things to practice for warm ups. Like I'm doing the aerials. It's just like getting your hands warm, getting like a feeling for all the tech you want to get a feel for. It's really important before you play. So I generally do this for like 5 to 10 minutes, sometimes longer. Before I play, just to get my hands warm, get my brain like playing the game, get my like basic tech. Like if I notice, and this is like a really good spot for like, you remember I was talking about the tech you were scoring up, like and like working on that. If you're like, man, my wave dash suck, like I'll just dedicate like a minute or two to my wave dashes.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Where I'm like, I just use this as like, I just like let my brain go, and I just work on all, I just like get my hands warm and I work on all the little things that have been like niggling me.
Yeah.
And I just like move my character around a bit, and then like once in a while, eventually I'm just like, all right, I feel warm. I'm gonna generally my next, I'll either do like specific tech, or like most of the time I'll do like punish warm up. So like specific tech might be once I'm warm, I'll like do I might do this is gonna, all right. So do you know about the Peach shield pressure like tree?
Getting like what +4 frames with the subfloat fair.
Just kind of, but like I mean in general, what you should be doing when you hit them, and like what shield advantage you have. This is probably going to be one of the most important things.
Vaguely.
Can you explain it to me? Like if I hit them with a grounded, just a basic grounded nair, how plus should it be, and what should I be doing out of it?
Yeah, I don't know the numbers behind them.
Or even like what should I be doing out of them? I hit him with a grounded nair, what should I do?
Well, I'm not too sure.
Oh, okay, yep. Well, this is probably the most important like itty bitty thing about Peach. So grounded net. So basically, there's a long trick. But if you let go, so how do I explain it? Your nair should be +2, as a rule. So first of all, like there's a specific way to do the nair +2, and it's like the important thing to remember is you want to let go of the jump button before your nair comes out. So you want to hit A and let go of jump.
Okay.
So if I'm still holding jump when I let go of A, like if I'm still holding jump by the time my nair comes out, it's +1.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Like I like if you see how it's frame advantage 1 frame.
Yeah.
If I'm still if I pay my fast fall, it's worse than that, but it's like that. So if I suddenly you see that? If I suddenly like let go, it's just getting used to doing that. That's how it works. But getting used to making your nairs +2 is like really important. I'll explain why in a second. But your nairs should be +2. And you should be like, depending on how high you like going to this and just like seeing how different fairs, like how plus they are, is also really useful. Like you see how that one was +1, that one's +2. If I do a really low one, it can be like +3 or +4.
Yeah. Okay.
There we go, like a +3 one. But yeah, getting used to how your advantage are, and getting used to acting out of them, that's really important. See, that was +4. But yeah, your nair should be +2. So what do you do when I hit them with a nair? Like, what are your options? What do you think?
Back grab.
Oh, like what I was doing, like the dash back. Like the dashback's one of them, but it's not the key one. It's one of the key ones. The dashback's a good one. Like yeah, you were watching me, but like what do you do? If you hit them with this grounded nair, what do you do?
I normally would hold the nair, drift through them, and then back air.
Oh, like that or something?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna blow your mind. Like this is why Peach is broken. So if you hit this nair, First of all, like if you hit the snare and down smash, it covers roll
Oh, okay.
because roll is frame 4 and you're +2. That's why it's important to be +2. And like down smash is frame 5. I'll get it in a sec. But yeah, so basically, yeah, you see that? He has to roll. Do you see how crazy that is? So if you so the basic at Peach's most basic, the mix up is if they hit any button, down smash wins.
Jeez. Yeah,
So literally, like roll spot, because obviously if they spot dodge, down smash is going to hit through the spot dodge, right? And obviously if they jump, it's not faster than roll. Like they'll get hit by the down smash. If they try to attack, they'll get hit by the down smash. Does that make sense? They hit literally any button, it loses to down smash. And then, what are they doing if they don't hit any button?
Shielding some more.
Yeah. So what beats shield?
Grab.
Yeah. So do you sort of see what I'm getting at?
Yeah.
So if they hit any button, down smash wins. And if they, in order to not get hit by the down smash, they have to be shielding.
Yeah.
So you can grab them.
Yeah, so you keep doing the down smash until they continue holding shield, then
Yep.
you just grab them the next
Yep.
time.
Exactly. You got it. And then grab on +2 should also always be shield grab, right?
Okay.
Because you're plus. Like if you're doing the same move as like if you're grabbing and they're doing an attack out of shield that's not Fox's Shine, your grab wins.
Okay, yeah.
So that's the basic mix up. And the only way to get out of grab right is to roll or spot dodge.
Yeah.
So and first of all, so if they roll, they don't get to punish you for grabbing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And if they spot dodge, they're holding down for down smash.
Yeah.
So if you
so good.
yeah, exactly. Do you see it? So like
Yeah.
if they choose to spot dodge and this is the same with any move that you get +2 beats roll. So do you see what I mean about like noticing your fares?
Okay,
And like
yeah.
getting a feel for trying to get like the fares?
Yeah.
But it's so basically getting used to going to Uncle Punch and like turning it to roll and like trying to cover roll with the nair and like getting the +2 nair is really, really important. And then getting used to like beating shield grab with like aerials on shield. So basically, yeah, every time you hit their shield with you can either down like and it's +2 or more, you either down smash and it covers every button or you grab them. And that's the basic mix up. And just get used to doing that.
Yeah.
So this is like this should be like one of your warm up like sort of what do they call it? Just like one of your warm ups. Whereas like you should like go into here and you should try to do like the +2 and you should try to beat like their shield grab with your grab, and you should try to beat like and then you should try to get like the down smash on the like the roll on the shield grab.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, no, I definitely want this to be my bread and
Yep.
butter.
This is the bread and butter. Like I hit like so how Peach works and like why she's broken. If you hit your shield, you won neutral.
Yeah.
But yeah, do you see why now?
Yeah.
And do you know what's even like it's really hard to like do in game, but like do you know why +4 is important? Like if +2, like do you see how like +2 is important because it means down smash beats roll?
Yeah.
Why do you think +4 is important?
More options. I'm not
Kind
too
of.
sure.
Like what specifically do you think changes? So I'm gonna help you here. So down smash is frame 5 and beats roll on +2. Yep.
Yeah.
Grab is frame 7.
So yeah, always a guaranteed grab.
So grab on frame 7. Like if you're +4, you beat roll.
Okay.
So grab +7 turns your like that like +4 turns your grab to also beat roll. So now grab also beats roll. The only way to get out of grab is spot dodging.
Okay. So then
So
that turns a grab into a 50-50.
Yeah, like infinitely better 50-50. They do anything but spot dodge, they lose.
Yeah.
And remember, spot dodge means they have to hold down for down smash.
Yeah.
So it's not good. You like if you get used to literally just like down smashing and grabbing, like getting used to like mixing up down smash and grab on shield, like suddenly do you remember how I was talking about turning your neutral like turning things into openings?
Yeah.
One of the way and understanding how to get openings. One of the ways I actively try to get openings is like one of my goals in neutral is to hit their shield.
Yeah.
Because it's an opening.
Yeah. That's crazy.
And then the last thing I'll talk about is like, so especially so the one exception, and like, you see me dash backing a lot, right?
Yeah.
Like, why would you dash back if grab and roll always like such a good mix up, right? Does that make sense?
Yep. Is it Shine?
It's not Shine, it's Sheik.
Okay.
Sheik down smash never pokes. So the other reason the +4 is so good because down smash will just randomly poke sometimes. So even if
Yep.
they pick the correct option, they hold shield, they might still lose. That's kind of
Yep.
stupid. So that it turns the 50-50 into like so heavily skewed to Peach that like it's like ridiculously good. But the problem with Sheik is she never gets
Shield?
poked.
Okay.
Have you seen like have you tried to down smash like a Sheik shield?
No.
Okay, so like do you see like this shield never gets poked. We'll just like none. Like have you seen down smash like poke spacey shields before? Just like as an example.
Yeah.
Like this will never like do you see how this never in like a million years will poke Sheik shield unless like I've damaged it twice already.
Yeah.
So that's a problem because now your 50-50 is actually a 50-50 because if she holds shield she gets to punish you.
Mm, okay.
So and then the last layer of the mix up just to understand is like basic bread and butter. So now if she holds shield she gets to punish you. So now you want to also like to stop yourself playing a risky 50-50 because like this is your advantage. You want to keep it as your advantage, right? Like we were talking about that. It's like
Yep.
not playing like if you have an advantage, you don't want to just play a 50-50 that gets you hit if you lose.
Yep.
So now what you can do is you can dash back. Now if I do this nair dash back instead of nair dash back instead of doing like nair down smash or nair grab, this actually covers roll. So if she rolls in, I get to follow her, right?
Yeah.
And it dodges shield grab, so it's safe. And it dodges nair out of shield, so it's safe. So it's like I'm doing this option that covers roll and keeps me in an advantage spot while like not committing. So it's like so now like it makes it like doing this makes it safer to do my mix ups because I'm like picking an option. Because like most of the time you're gonna like want to grab, right? Because like grab's the safest option. But if she starts spot dodging and she starts rolling, you can use dash back to punish that without like actually committing anything.
Yeah.
So that those are your basic three options. There's more options on shield, but you should be thinking about it like versus most characters. Just remember to dash like just remember to grab and down smash. And versus Sheik, you should be like remembering like grab down smash and dash back.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, go into like +2. Try to get your nairs +2 because that's the fastest aerial. That's the easiest one to hit on shield. And then there's other wacky things you see. You get the wacky +4 up airs, but it's stuff that's not really worth it because it's like you have to be really comfortable with getting your +2s before you go higher.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
And then the last thing, so do you wait? Make sure you aerial shield with shield grab. So like you see me grabbing shield, like I'm using shield grab to do that. Like after I land my aerial, my pressure has like and I grab them, it's with shield grab.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you know why?
No. Is it because you shield, you kind of protect yourself? I don't know.
Kind of. All right, here's what happens if I'm too fast with the Z button.
Ah, okay.
I can't do anything. I'm trying to grab.
Yeah.
Like you see, like I'm stuck. Like I was too fast with the grab. Now I'm grabbed. Right? Does that make sense? Like I was too fast with the Z button. Now I'm grabbed. It's what happens when I'm too fast with the L and A.
Yeah. Okay.
I hit shield, but you see how I'm still able to grab out of shield. So like I can just mash A, and like even if I was too fast on it, I still get an opportunity before they get to react. So like
Okay, yeah.
worst case, like it's just better because like your worst case, like it's the same frame. If you're holding shield before you hit, like if you're holding shield before it comes up, then it's the same frame as like hitting Z, but it just means you're how do I explain this? It just means you're not at risk of getting stuck in light shield like this because this is a
Yeah.
nightmare.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just a small thing. Any questions about like shield pressure, anything like that? Before we go on.
Shield pressuring on platforms.
Ooh, yeah,
um,
we'll get to that in a sec. Yep. What
'Cause
about
yeah,
it?
that's one thing. It's like I know a lot of the time if I knock someone up, they will shield, and most of the time I either try to just do a dash attack or go for a grab. But I'm like, what else could I actually do to really put pressure on them? So where they're just like, oh my god, their shield breaks or something like
Like
that.
on a
Like what
platform. So like if you
on a
hit them on a
platform?
platform and they shield too early, all right. There's some pretty basic mix-ups. I'll actually explain it. Before I go on, the one last thing you want to practice is getting used to down smashing and grabbing off high fair, because high fair will be like +1 a lot of the time. So just get used to like grabbing, and they're obviously like different frames you come down. Just get used to getting used to down smashing and like grabbing out of like different fairs is really important, so you don't screw it up and get grabbed.
Okay, perfect.
So just get that was the last thing to practice. Is like make sure you practice shield pressure out of different fairs, because they're all like different plus and they're all different timings. And then all right, shield pressure on platform. So there's a few basic tricks. Can we put her up here? So if like let's say you throw them, like you hit them up and they're on platform and they're shielding, right?
Yeah.
The basic one is you do this. Oh, sorry. Like the number one punish to shielding on platform is this.
Okay.
So you double jump land, get an instant grab.
Yep.
So that's like 90% of the time I'll do this, and then eventually they'll start spot dodging and stuff. So like the basic, this is the basic mix up I play is I'll do this until they start spot dodging, or
Yep.
like instant doing a move, and then I'll do this.
Okay, yeah.
So imagine if they spot dodge or shield drop instantly. Imagine if they shield drop instantly. That happens.
Yeah.
It's nuts. So like, and if they hold shield, they get grabbed, right? It's the same sort of mix up.
Okay,
So
going,
that's basically it. Yeah, go
going
ahead.
for an aerial when they're shielding is probably a bad idea.
So we'll go into that now. So those are the two basic mix-ups. So like if you're under the shield, the platform, you can do the one of these, and then the last mix-up you can do is yeah, going for an aerial under them is a really like just doing this under them is that's a good way to get hit.
Yeah.
But what you can do is, and what I do sometimes is because like obviously you're threatening aerial while you jump up, right? So what you can do is.
Oh wow. Okay.
So you can float just above the platform, and like you can do the same there, and like often it will push them off. If they're like, do you see how if they're near the corner, it'll like push them off, and then you down smash, and it will catch them falling off.
Yeah, that's so good.
So yeah, you want to do the nair just above, and then you can do that.
Okay, awesome. That's
So yeah, that's shield pressure. So you either double jump land shield, or like double jump land grab, double jump land down smash, or you can do like this float now. Or if like sometimes, because obviously all of this takes time, and like sometimes they'll start shield dropping and hitting you as you're coming up, you can just do like, you can just hit under them.
Yeah, okay.
So you can just do like this float up air, or you can float now. Like this is all the other answer to like how do you hit them. I'll do this now.
Yeah, okay.
Like right, do you see how I'm right under there? This like catches them, like trying to come down because it's faster because I don't have to go as high, but also like this can shield poke.
Yeah.
So like getting used to, and this nair is really important for tech chasing too. So have you ever seen like a spacey misses tech on platform?
Yes.
You can put yourself here. Actually, we can probably set it up.
And then you like follow them with the drift.
Yep, but it dodges get up attack. So
okay.
make him miss tech. Oh, that's fine. That's fine. Where's miss tech? There it is. Yeah, you can like follow their drift, but it's the idea is you go under them, and if they get up attack, which they will, if they get up attack or normal get up, which is like you see that,
Yeah.
so you're just sitting them under, and you can follow them. Like you remember that nair that can like this can also like shield poke if you follow them and they get shield up. So if you get used to just like this position where you can be just under them, you can follow them and try and get a shield poke, or they either you follow them and you can try and get a shield poke, or they'll do normal get up, or they'll get up attack, and you can sort of pressure all of it without while staying completely safe. So you just get used to like the spacing of like trying to hit them with like the backhand of your hand, or trying to hit them with up air, and just like being right under the get up attack hits.
Okay, yeah.
That's a cute
really
one.
Good.
All right. I'll just add this to the notes. Pressure. on platforms. And now we'll go to... I've completely forgotten what the name of... Punish, there we go. Punish practice. So... Peach can RTC quite well on most characters. You can't always RTC them all. But
Okay.
you want to get used to, like, you see... Oh, wait, he's on this tech. Give me a sec. Tech option random. But you want to get used to... So, the basic drills I do... There's a few basic drills you can do as Peach that gets you used to most things most characters can do. And gets you used to, like, thinking in the right way. So, like... At 0, I'll... Like, one of my basic drills is I go to Anka Punch and I'll hit a Fox at 0 with either up air, nair, and either up air, nair, down smash. And what this will do, this will train me at getting used to chasing different down smashes. You see how, like, that I had to notice that the down smash brought him back in,
Yeah.
and it gets me used to, and then it gets me used to, like, tech chasing after. So it's tech chasing is really complicated, like you saw that,
Yeah.
where it's So I'll just do this at 0. Like, this is something I've done for years at this point. Where at 0, I'll just do a move and I'll dash attack the spacey and I'll try to follow the tech and I'll try to react to the tech. It takes a while to tech chasing and, like, actually doing it on reaction is really, really hard and takes it's basically something you grind forever.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's there is one basic thing I can show you that makes it. So what I suggest until you get your RTC actually down is what I call baby's first tech chasing. When you notice instead of, like, you know how you can react to, like, all techs, like, theoretically you could react to all techs, right? And, like, I try to at this point because I've grinded it for like 3 years. But what you can do instead of that, that's almost, but, like, the problem with reaction tech chasing for all techs is what happens if you miss. Like, if I'm wrong and I grab, I get punished, right?
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like, that's bad. Because, like, we're talking about, if you're in an advantageous spot, you don't want to play a 50-50 mix-up that gets you punished if you're wrong, right?
Yeah.
So what you should be doing anyway is baby's first mix-up, which is, so basically, you react, so you pick either tech in place or you pick roll. So you're like, I'm going to either guess he's gonna tech in place or I'm gonna guess he's gonna roll, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So if I guess tech in place, I just cover the tech in place. So I'm like, I'm guessing he's tech in placing. I'm just going to cover it, either with down smash or, like, generally it's down smash, or either with down smash or with dash attack, right? Just to threaten it.
Yep.
Because I'm like, this is too hard to react to. I'm just gonna down smash. And then if you guess roll, what you can do is you can react to the roll, because the roll is much easier to react to, right? It's longer.
Yeah.
But what you do is if you can react to them rolling in. How do I explain this? This might be too much, but you can, like, you can react to them rolling in. So you react to rolling in, like, roll out is the easiest tech to react to. You'll learn that pretty fast. So, like, if they roll out, it's really, really obvious from frame 1. But if they roll in and if they tech in place, it's really similar. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah.
So what you do is, if you see anything that isn't rollout, you dash back.
Okay.
Does that make sense? So if you don't see rollout, you dash back. And what that does is, if it's roll in, you can cover it because you're right where they are, right?
Yeah.
And if it's tech in place, what you can do, like, because you don't know whether it's roll in or tech in place, right, or mistech. So what you can do is, if it's tech in place, when you dash back, you can dash back in and punish it. So what this does is, we'll put it on spot dodge actually, so I can show you. So you know how Spaceys always like, everyone mashes an option out of tech.
Yeah.
So I'll do this roll back. So I covered the roll, you see? Like, I dash back and I covered the roll. And I was like, oh, he didn't. I'll go cover it, but alright. Cover the roll, and then if I'm waiting for him to tech in place just so I can get it.
Yep.
Come on, you can do it. Did I accidentally? No, he's still random. So if he misses tech, you can, like, sort of like, remember we were talking about chasing mistech with jump?
Yeah.
So, like, if you notice mistech, I can like jump here and like pressure different mistech options, or I can hold down and pressure get up attack like that.
Okay.
But the important thing is if he techs in place, I'm just gonna make it tech in place because I haven't teched in place in the last 20 times. But if he tech in place and you dash back, you see? Did you see that?
Yeah.
It covers spot dodge and shine. So if you dash back, in regards to reaction, tech chasing, if you dash back to cover the tech in, like if you can't tell if it's tech in place or roll in, right? If you dash back to cover this, you dashing in once you've reacted to the fact that it wasn't tech roll in is the correct timing to punish spot dodge and shine.
That's so good.
Does that make sense? So you're like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
late. The problem normally, if I'm just sitting here and I'm late, I'll try to be late. I'm like reacting, but like you see how it misses.
Yeah.
But if you're one step later by like dashing back and then dashing back in, suddenly it's the correct timing.
Yeah.
Like that. So it's like this little cheat. Whereas like you either cover like because like sometimes you're just gonna have to cover it raw and you're gonna have to guess they're gonna do it. That's just how tech chasing works. But it's this thing whereas like even if you commit to covering roll, you can still cover the panic option out of tech in place.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
So interesting. I love it.
Tech chasing. This like it's a bit complex and like you're probably not going to be able to implement it in games for a while, but like when you're practicing tech chasing, like that's the sort that try to practice it like in that style. Like try to react to like either read tech in place or react to rolls and try to cover the panic tech in place option.
Okay.
But yeah, so basically my warm up is like one of my most important drills is I'll literally just like hit a fox and I'll practice the follow up after tech chasing with down smash because this gets me used to chasing down smash. This gets me used to like tech chasing after down smash. This gets me used to it's just because like the most important thing is like watching the fox and being used to where he's gonna go after a down smash, right?
Yeah.
So this gets me used to all of like the Peach basic follow ups on spacies. And then the other like one of the most important drills as well is I'll dash attack a spacey at different percents.
Okay.
Do you sort of I don't know if he's still no DI, yeah, he's no DI. And you can play with the DIs if you want. But yeah, I'll literally where's my random DI? There it is. I'll literally dash attack a spacey at different percents and I'll practice like trying to get a kill out of it.
Yeah.
Because do you see how dash attack has like 10 different directions? Like you see how you can DI my moves different. Do you see how I have to like get used to like chasing DIs? You can see how you can like sometimes I don't get a true follow up of dash attack and I have to tech chase like I just did then. So it's like it just gets you used to like chasing different DIs. It gets you used to being ready for like tech chases. It gets you used to like using weak hits to like extend. So does that make sense?
Yeah, that's
Like that?
so good. Yeah.
So, and then, like, it's obviously different for every percent. So, like, if I'm at 60, my follow-ups are a bit different. Like, you see that? That wouldn't have been a 40% combo.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes I'll go to plat, depending, like, you can use different stages. Like, if I put him, like, over here, maybe, he'll often go to plat. So I have to get used to, like, platform tech chasing, like here, like that.
Yeah.
So it's, like, just, like, the best drill, I think, in my opinion, for, like, learning Peach Punish is you just find it, like, you like click on a Spacey or a Falcon and you just like set them to different percents and then you just dash attack them 100 times. Then like lower percents you'll have to get used to tech chasing more because dash attack will like won't true combo but it will cause a tech chase or you have to grab because it's like you won't have time to do an aerial. So like do you see what I mean how like different dash attack percents like gets you used to like all your different follow-ups because you have to get used to all the different things dash attack can do, and dash attack like causes all the situations. So like dash attack can cause like platform tech chases. Dash attack can like force you having to grab them. Dash attack can like force tech chases on the ground. Dash attack like can make aerial combos like that. Does that make sense? Like dash attack like forces all of the situations you need to be used to as a Peach player.
Yeah.
So that's the best way to practice like punish, I think, or like the best like the easiest like catch-all drill. Whereas like there'll be specific drills where you're like I need to practice down tilt versus this character, right? Because like down tilt's like a combo starter, like that's a basic one on Marth. or like I'll just like practice like down tilting Marth and Sheik, and you get combos of that. But for as like a catch-all, like as like a catch-all drill, like you can do that. Like, does that make sense? Like that's like one of the other ones. Whereas like that's what I mean about like there'll be other specific things you have to grind, and like grinding the chain grab on FD and sort of stuff like that. But as like a catch-all thing, just like setting a spacey to like different percents and like putting them in like different parts of different stages and just like dash attacking them will teach you everything you need to know about Peach Punish. So you just dash attack the spacey and you're like, how could I have done better? And then you just try different moves in the spot. Maybe I'll try like you'll go through. So I'll dash attack the spacey at like 50. And I'll try Nair here, right? And I'm like, oh, I didn't like that. And I'll try up here. And I'm like, now like it might combo. I'll like try up here. So like you'll get used to just like try, and then like if you spend long enough, and you can try dash attacking them with specific DIs, so you can get an idea of like how different moves send.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've spent countless hours in here, but like you literally just dash attack them, and you just see how different moves interact.
Yeah. Okay.
And yeah, it's like a really good idea just to like try specific DIs. So if you try no DI is probably the best way to start, just like to see how it feels, and to like know when your moves send like as a baseline. So like I do this no DI, and I can do this up air, and I can do this nair, and it sends them there, right?
Yeah.
Or I can do that. Or I can do maybe I can get up air. What does it get? I can do that maybe. So it's like it's sort of thing where you can just sit here and you like sort of figure out how your moves work.
Yeah. No, I love it.
And then once you're used to here, so that's the first half of Punish, is you just get used to that. Like, so I think the two most important ones is like attack, down smash a spacey and try to chase them. And then the other one is just dash attack a spacey at different percents, because I think those are the two more useful ones. And you can like mix it up with Falcon as well, so you can get used to that. And then the other important like punish practice is 20xx. So like it's Uncle Punch is really good for like theorizing and understanding how your moves work, right? So like that's what I'm talking about there. You're like, oh, I can try this move in this spot, and I sort of understand how my moves work. But it's not gonna cross over into a real game as much, because it's like a very like condensed environment where you're like, I'm dash attacking this spacey. I know I'm dash attacking this spacey. It's like this specific percent, right? I know what's happening. It's like I don't have to react to all the things in game. I don't have to win a neutral interaction to do it, right? So it's not gonna translate one-to-one straight away.
Yep.
So there's actually there's actually another stepping stone. So the way I see it is there's 3 stepping stones. It's do it in Uncle Punch, do it in 20xx, do it in a real game. Because what 20xx does, if you set the the spaceys was the best, but you can 20xx every character. Sheik's pretty good, and Falcon's pretty good. But you set at least the spaceys are level 1, and every other character is level 9. But the spaceys at level 1, if you watch, like you sort of have to play neutral. You see how he's dashing around, he's doing some stuff. Like I'm hitting him naturally.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I have to like, I didn't put the character in the stage there. I just happened to hit him at that point of the stage, and now I practice following up. Like that?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So like once you're used to like the ideas, and also the 20xx bot is like the Fox recovery is as good as real recovery. So it's like the best way to practice recovery in this game is just 20xx Fox. So I mean I'm punished, sorry. On edge guards. So you literally like, so once you're used to once you're like, oh, I have all these ideas from Uncle Punch, you're like, all right, I'm going to take these ideas and see if I can use them versus 20xx bot. I'm going to practice the 20xx bot, and then once I'm comfy there, I'm going to take it into a real game.
Okay, yeah, that's a really good process.
But yeah, that's basically the trick. And then you literally you can like set them to like, so it's something I used to do. But yeah, just like practice all your moves until they understand how they work in like Uncle Punch. And if you have new ideas, you can try them in Uncle Punch, and then like redirect your practice to 20xx, and then you would start noticing you're doing all this stuff in real games. Because it's like, it's really hard to focus. Like if you're like, man, I really want to do reverse up air stuff, I'm like, you're not going to be able to just being like, oh, I'm going to try that versus Lax in unranked.
Yeah.
Right? That's not going to happen. So it's like, you sort of have to get comfortable with it. You're like, okay, this is how reverse up air works in Uncle Punch. I can like do it every time. on the specific percent on this specific DI. All right, now I'm gonna try doing it on random DI. I'm like, all right, I can do it on random DI. Now I'm gonna try doing it versus the 20x bot. And you're like, oh, now I got it a few times versus Lax. Like I might not be able to get it every time, but like it's the pathway that lets you get it in game, like much easier than just trying to force it in friendlies.
Yeah.
But yeah, there you go. That's how I practice punish, right? You just like you just put characters in different spots. Especially Spacey is the best one because it covers everything, and you like dash attack them, you grab them, you down smash it, and you just try to follow it.
Yeah.
And then if you have any questions, you can set them to like the best way to find out what different moves do is you set a specific DI and you set a specific percent and you try to take it as far as possible.
Okay.
So like what I'll do, I'll show you. This is as like an example. So like you don't have to like mimic exactly this. It's just getting the ideas. I'll do like something I've been working on recently because I've been working on aerial chains. Is I'll redo the dolphin. There we go. Is I'll go Zelda. And then I'll go no DI. Yep.
Yep.
And I'll try to do... so one combo I'm trying to work on is... so if I time it properly, I can do triple nair. It's really tight. I can do triple nair dash attack. So I literally just play around on... and I can do nair, and I can do this, I can do this. So I literally just play around on... And I can do nair up air. And you can do stuff of that. So it's something where you can get used to. I can do 2 nairs and then dash attack, right? I can get used to that. And then I can get used to this follow up. I can do that, right?
Yeah.
So it's the sort of thing where it's like if you have like it's sometimes you can just place a character there and you can be like, how far can I take this punish on this DI? And it sort of gets you really familiar with like using all your moves. So I can do this down tilt and like you can up air like 5 times. I can do this nair into down tilt, or you can do, yeah, nair up air is another one. So you see what I mean? It's like, it sort of gets you really, it's because it's too hard to figure out ideas when you're doing it on random DI, right? Because you're more focused on reacting to the DI. So it's good to like, just pick a character and just like, hit him, see what you can do with it. Like no DI is a really good one for that. Generally, I'll do no DI, survival DI sometimes. Maybe like you want to know what you can do on away DI. You see? I can do that. So you just it's a really good tool to get like better ideas of like what your character can actually do.
Yeah.
But yeah, there you go.
That's so good.
That's I guess that was a fun 2-hour session. I like this is why I like Peaches, because I'm just like I enjoy talking about this stuff anyway. With other characters, I'm like, all right, well I have to put my mind into their shoes, and it's like I have to sort of like step out of my comfort zone. But when I talk with Peaches, I'm just like I can just talk about stuff I did for like hours.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's probably too much, but I reckon that's probably a good point to stop off.
Yeah. No, well, thank you so much.
There you go.
Really good.
I'll send you. I'll update, like I have all the things listed in a notepad. I'll send you like a proper notepad of like all the notes I made in like a little bit more detailed form, and then I'll upload the VOD eventually. Oh, this VOD's gonna be huge. But yeah, I'll upload the VOD and then I'll send it to you. Yeah, that'll be great.
Okay. Well, yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, hope you enjoyed it.
Okay.
All right, catch.
Bye.